Well, hello everybody. I am Jen, and this is Nerdy Girl AV. So, as I have mentioned, I'm basically trying out a format here as I start to work on my consistency with posting. I've been delaying and being inconsistent. Primarily, the excuse is I don't know what to say. So I've been doing some thinking and I thought it might be best to babble openly. Um, I come up with these ideas and then they don't feel viable. And while I know I'm not alone, I didn't think that this would be very interesting. And yet, here I am still babbling. So, here's what I'm working on. I want to put together a video for all of you that will bring you value. And I am constantly running into the issue of, am I credible enough to do this? So here's what I want to do. I've come up with ideas such as writing business plans. I've been writing business plans for fun since I was a wee child. You can't see how low my hand is to the ground, but I was in middle school when I started doing this. I was coming up with ideas for magazines. I was selling golf balls to golfers because my folks lived on a golf course. Our backyard was open right to it. So it's something I've loved doing. I found I really enjoy business operations, and my background is in corporate communications. So my credibility is on the side of writing communications. My degree focused on the internal as well as external communications. So I have both training as well as some experience in developing campaigns. Now, I have worked for advertising agencies, big and small, startups. When I say small, I'm talking about like I was the expert in that company. We were a startup, and did I say startup? Anywho, so have I actually started a business? Have I fully executed upon the plans that I wrote? No, not really. I had there was one in college where the course was called Venture Creation. If you're a student at James Madison University, I don't know if they've kept the name, but I strongly recommend this course. I loved my Professor Carol. Was an amazing woman, absolute inspiration. And she brought in a entrepreneur in the area, and they kind of mentored you. You would work on a team, and you would put together the full business plan. And one of the people that I worked with, one of the other students, it was his idea, and I worked with him to put together the plan. He ended up actually executing it. I was not a part of those operations, just on the business writing and planning. So in a way, yes, but if you were a larger company or even a local small business, I don't know. So if you're listening to this and this babbling and you'd like to work with me, I would love to do so. But I'm being incredibly honest and transparent with all of you right now because I know I'm not alone. So Uh, if you have been in similar shoes as me, I would love for you to comment down below and share some of your experiences as well. So I think that brings me to the next thing that I've been thinking about. So there's the business plan, and I think that being a service based, that's a plus because there's no overhead. It's just me, so I don't have to worry about payroll. I work from my home office, so it's not like I need to worry about rent or storefront or inventory. And I'm also mentioning this for all of you who are starting to think of ways that you can kind of start a side hustle, start a business. These are all things, if you haven't already thought about, starting with a service-based business is a really great way to go. And a lot of my experience has also been really self-taught. So when we're talking about credibility, what have I accomplished? What do I have a right to speak about? And someone's willing to work with you. I suppose that's really ultimately at the end of the day what matters. So one of the other ideas that I've been thinking about is not one that I would immediately or maybe ever monetize, which sounds counterproductive to what we were just talking about, I know. But just to build some credibility, some exposure, and frankly, as just a hobby I would just really enjoy, is I've been thinking about doing a podcast or an interview. So maybe start with some local businesses, like I grew up in Sparta, so I know quite a few of the local business owners that are in that area. So maybe I might say, hey, would you be interested in showing up on a podcast and talking a little bit about your business and what some of your goals as well as some of your challenges have been in starting this business, and just talking to them about their journey, how their business came to be, and it's quite possible, particularly for local businesses, say, it was a family business, but everybody has a story. And I think that, at least I think it would be interesting to see how these people got to where they are. And it's some exposure for them as well. My end goal would be to eventually start interviewing CEOs or other individuals in the C-suite of larger companies. Start talking to some entrepreneurs that are just getting started. Maybe they also don't have a business yet themselves. But those would be some of the people that I would think about interviewing with. So these are just some of the stuff that I've been working on, some of the things that have been food for thought. But I'm going to leave today's brainstorming session at that. And if you have any ideas, feedback, if you want to share some of your experiences in starting either a blog, a business, or anything like that, I would love to hear from you. And I hope that you all have an amazing evening, morning, whenever the hell you're watching this. And I hope you all do some great stuff. So thank you all. Have a good one.